China's ambitious infrastructure projects have long been a subject of global fascination and concern. Among the most significant endeavors is the nation's massive dam construction program, which represents one of the largest engineering undertakings in human history. The $62 billion mega dam project, predominantly referring to the Three Gorges Dam and related hydroelectric projects in the Yangtze River Basin, stands as a testament to China's engineering prowess and its commitment to harnessing natural resources for economic development and energy production. This monumental project will fundamentally reshape the geographical, environmental, and geopolitical landscape of Asia for centuries to come. The scope of the project. China's mega dam initiatives extend far beyond a single structure. They encompass multiple large-scale hydroelectric projects across various river systems, particularly the Yangtze and Yellow rivers. The Three Gorges Dam, completed in 2012, serves as the centerpiece of this ambitious program, though subsequent expansions and additional projects continue to add to the overall investment. These dams are designed to serve multiple purposes: generating clean renewable energy, controlling devastating floods, improving navigation along major waterways, and supplying water for agricultural and industrial use across vast regions of Asia. The Three Gorges Dam alone stretches 2,335 meters in length and stands 185 meters tall, creating a reservoir that stretches over 600 kilometers upstream. The sheer scale of this engineering marvel defies comprehension. It holds back water that would traditionally flow freely through some of Asia's most critical ecosystems. When combined with dozens of other significant dam projects planned or under construction across China, the total investment reaches approximately $62 billion, making it one of the most substantial infrastructure investments in modern history. Energy production and climate benefits. One of the primary justifications for China's mega dam projects is their contribution to clean energy production. As the world's largest energy consumer and producer of greenhouse gases, China has positioned hydroelectric power as a cornerstone of its transition away from coal dependency. The massive reservoirs created by these dams generate enormous quantities of electricity through hydroelectric turbines, providing renewable, carbon-free energy to power Chinese industries and cities. The Three Gorges Dam alone generates approximately 22,500 megawatts of power annually, equivalent to the output of multiple nuclear plants or conventional fossil fuel stations. This clean energy production helps China meet its climate commitments while simultaneously reducing reliance on coal, which has historically dominated China's energy mix. From an environmental perspective, the replacement of coal-fired power plants with hydroelectric generation represents a significant reduction in greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution. For Asia as a whole, China's hydroelectric capacity directly influences regional energy dynamics. Neighboring countries benefit from both direct power exports and the stabilization of regional energy markets. However, this benefit comes with considerable environmental and social costs that must be carefully weighed against the climate advantages. Flood control and water management. Beyond energy generation, China's dam systems serve critical flood management functions. The Yangtze River, which historically has been prone to catastrophic flooding events, now faces significantly reduced flood risks thanks to the massive water storage capacity created by these dams. In 2012 and subsequent years, the dam system has successfully managed dangerous flood situations, preventing loss of life and protecting billions of dollars in agricultural and industrial infrastructure. The ability to regulate water flow has transformed the Yangtze from an unpredictable natural force into a managed resource. This represents a remarkable achievement in hydraulic engineering and disaster prevention. For millions of people living along the river and its tributaries, the dam system provides unprecedented security against the floods that historically ravaged the region every few decades. Additionally, the managed water supplies from these reservoirs support agricultural irrigation across vast regions of central and eastern China. Farmers can now rely on consistent water availability rather than depending solely on seasonal rainfall patterns. This stability has contributed significantly to increased agricultural productivity and food security across the affected regions. Environmental and ecological impact. However, the environmental cost of China's mega dam projects is substantial and cannot be overlooked. The massive reservoirs created by these structures have fundamentally altered aquatic ecosystems that evolved over millions of years. Fish migration patterns, particularly for species like the Chinese sturgeon and finless porpoise, have been severely disrupted. The dam creates a barrier preventing these creatures from reaching their traditional breeding grounds, leading to population declines and biodiversity loss. The reservoir itself transforms flowing river ecosystems into artificial lakes, fundamentally changing water chemistry, temperature, and circulation patterns. This affects every organism dependent on the river's natural conditions, from microscopic aquatic life to large predatory. The sediment that would naturally flow downstream and replenish river deltas now accumulates behind the dam, altering coastal ecosystems thousands of kilometers away. Furthermore, the massive weight and water volume of the Three Gorges Reservoir have been linked to increased seismic activity in the region. Scientists have documented an increase in earthquakes in areas where large reservoirs store water. The pressure from billions of tons of water can trigger movement along existing geological faults. While catastrophic earthquakes have been avoided so far, the potential geological risks remain a subject of scientific debate and concern. Social and demographic consequences. The construction of China's mega dams has displaced over 1.3 million people, primarily from the Three Gorges region. Entire towns and villages were flooded to create the massive reservoirs necessary for these projects. While the Chinese government provided compensation and resettlement programs for displaced communities, the social disruption has been profound. People were forced to abandon ancestral lands, traditional livelihoods, and cultural heritage accumulated over generations. The resettlement process, while extensive, has not always been smooth or satisfactory. Some relocated residents have struggled to adapt to new environments and economic opportunities significantly different from their traditional lives. Archaeological sites and cultural landmarks were submerged, erasing physical evidence of thousands of years of human history. These social costs, though less tangible than energy production statistics, represent a genuine loss to Chinese society and global cultural heritage. Geopolitical implications for Asia. Perhaps most significantly, China's massive dam projects have profound geopolitical implications for Asia. Control over major river systems represents control over critical resources that affect neighboring countries. The Yangtze River, while entirely within China's territory, provides water and energy that influence regional stability and economic development. Downstream nations, particularly those in Southeast Asia where the Mekong River, China's other major dam-filled system, originates in Chinese territory, have expressed concerns about water security. Variations in dam discharge affect water availability, hydroelectric potential, and fishing patterns across international borders. Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam all depend to varying degrees on consistent water flow from upstream sources, making them vulnerable to Chinese water management policies. This dynamic has created new dimensions of regional competition and cooperation. While China maintains that its dam operations prioritize regional stability and flood management, downstream nations remain cautious about their vulnerability to water cutoffs or manipulation. This represents a new form of resource competition in Asia, where water becomes as strategically important as oil or minerals were in previous centuries. Technological innovation and global influence. China's mega dam projects have spurred remarkable technological innovation in hydroelectric engineering, water management systems, and large-scale construction techniques. Chinese engineers and companies have become global leaders in dam construction, exporting their expertise to projects across Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. The technology developed for China's domestic projects now influences infrastructure development worldwide. This technological leadership enhances China's global influence and soft power. Countries seeking to develop their own hydroelectric resources increasingly turn to Chinese expertise and financing. This extends Chinese influence far beyond its borders and establishes new patterns of economic dependency that favor Chinese interests. Conclusion: China's $62 billion mega dam project represents one of humanity's most ambitious engineering undertakings, with consequences that extend far beyond energy production statistics. These massive structures provide enormous benefits in terms of clean energy, flood control, and water management, contributing meaningfully to both China's development goals and global climate change mitigation efforts. However, these benefits come at substantial environmental and social costs. Displaced communities, disrupted ecosystems, lost cultural heritage, and geopolitical tensions represent genuine consequences of these projects that cannot be dismissed or minimized. The long-term sustainability of these massive structures, potential geological risks, and their impacts on regional water security remain subjects of ongoing scientific research and political debate. As Asia continues to develop and face challenges from climate change and population growth, China's mega dam projects will increasingly shape the region's future. Understanding both their benefits and costs is essential for informed policy discussions about development, environmental protection, and regional cooperation in Asia's emerging world. The dams built today will influence how billions of people access energy, water, and food security for generations to come, making them perhaps the most consequential infrastructure investments of the 21st century.